Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the Dream Stream. I am Yiskah Cook,
And I'm Ellen Ronis.
and we tried, as we often do, to remember to incubate a dream last night. So that was like right before falling asleep. So you're already in a spacier consciousness. You're already 1 foot into the door of sleep. So but I think that my problem, once again, is that I was too effusive. I wasn't specific enough, you know? And I think that that's why I didn't get an answer, because I didn't actually ask a question. I just left it so general. So tell me your experience with that.
Yeah, so that is interesting. I was just sharing earlier with you that I hadn't been sleeping well and like at all, so I haven't been dreaming, which happens to me. And last night I slept pretty well, and I totally fell asleep and totally forgot to incubate. Like I forgot to.
Yes,
We had talked about like, yeah, let's do a dream incubation, and I just
right.
didn't. And then woke up at about 4 in the morning. I was like, oh shoot, I forgot to do that. And so I did, but I'm not sure what I asked for, because I was in a sleeping
So you were
stupor.
already in
I
the
was
dream
already, yeah.
state
I
asking for,
think I asked something about, like uh clarity for the future or something like,
yes,
I'm something like that.
something vague.
Always about clarity for me, more and more clarity about
Okay.
how to proceed in life. Uh,
Yes.
and so this is the dream I got. I'll just jump in. I'm in an airport party situation. It was like this big giant airport, and I'm standing kind of up on the mezzanine, and I'm looking down at all the people sort of moving around, and there's a people I know there. So it's like a airport vibe, but also it was like a personal party, my personal party. And so I feel like maybe my brother was there, my brother and his wife, and an old friend from Brooklyn, and a few other like random couples that I knew, but I can't place. And I remember just standing up there and looking down at everybody and just feeling kind of jealous, like at the couples, and like that they had someplace they were going somewhere, and then they all sort of en masse went outside. It was light inside, like daylight, but then outside it was dark, and they went
Oh,
outside. And as they were all leaving, there was a big, like a pop outside somewhere, and then very shortly after there was an explosion of some sort outside of the airport. So I don't know what it was that exploded, but then everyone started running back into the building.
hmm,
Um, and that's that's as much as I could remember, because of course I didn't write it down immediately.
right.
Mm, And yeah, that's what I remember. It was very interesting that it was light, like daylight inside, but then outside it was.
That's a fascinating dream symbol. I've never worked with that, so I'm excited to look at that with you. So,
Yeah,
many aspects of this dream are so interesting to me, and I would like to unpack it
yeah, me too.
as thoroughly as we are able right now. So, what will you name this dream title?
Um, um, for some reason, I want to call it "Going to a Party,"
Okay,
which doesn't seem exactly connected to whatever. Yeah, that's just
I
came.
might name it "Going to an Airport Party."
Yeah, going to an airport.
A little more specific.
Well, and there's something about the what's the word? Like the symbology of going to going. The going part is like you could be flying to an airport.
I'm leaving on a jet
Right.
plane.
Exactly. Something like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh,
Anyway.
it's my going away party.
Hmm.
Where am I going? Um, so how did you feel when you woke up from this?
Um,
It was like a more, you had incubated the dream already in the witching hour, right?
yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
3 in the morning or whatever.
Yeah.
So Yeah, what did you feel?
Um, like I remember feeling inside the dream, like a little jealous somehow.
Yeah, right,
I
right.
remember, and I don't know how I felt. I think I was disturbed. Like I was,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's a bad thing just happened.
Oh,
What it made me think of when I woke up? Have you ever seen the show called Manifest?
my God, twice.
Yeah. Or it's like, or Lost. It's like those kind of shows where something
Yeah.
happens in an airplane and then there's some kind of whole other
Yeah.
like,
I need to talk about this with you, but not right now because I don't
yeah,
want to give any spoilers.
yeah,
But
like
I was not satisfied with the
no,
ending.
me neither.
Okay.
But I wasn't satisfied with the ending of Lost either. I think like they just don't know what to
Oh,
do with it. It's so great.
right.
They don't know what to do
It'll
with it.
go on forever. You
Yeah,
can't
they
just
don't know
say
how to,
none of it happened. It was
right.
all a dream. No, I do not accept. I dream
I,
work. Do not accept that to end manifest.
yeah.
So okay, but back to the dream.
Yeah, so if it had that flavor a little bit, like that there was some kind of a mystery
Yes.
that was
Oh,
happening and I was kind of witnessing it, or actually that I was actually like creating it maybe. Like it almost felt like because I was standing up on the mezzanine
oh
looking
yes.
railing and
Looking.
I was sort of looking
Yeah.
over everybody and
Wow.
watching them
Yeah,
leave,
that's
watching them come back because it's almost
yes.
like I didn't want them to leave maybe or something. And that's just a thought. I don't know. But it feels, yeah, it's true.
I've had dreams with that perspective, like up on a balcony and over, looking down at, and for some reason it makes me feel like that's from a spiritual perspective, the
Mm,
higher, the
mhm,
higher self.
mm,
And that brought up my projection,
uh-huh.
what I have tried to figure out. Um, so of course not of course, but I also was reminded of your dream after the fact that you didn't go to your family party.
Oh,
Um, right, it was your niece's
mhm. It
wedding. Was that what it was?
was her bridal shower.
Oh, never mind. Right, it was. He's got a mustache drawn onto his face. Um, so it made me feel that. So I was feeling like, in a way, and if it's my dream in my subconscious, I'm just wanting to look back in on that, check in with myself, how, and I'm feeling a little, what adjective did you say? It wasn't regret, it's
Jealousy.
jealousy in
Jealous.
seeing the couples. And I can certainly relate with jealousy in myself, which I have worked through like you would not believe for my whole life. This has
Mhm.
been a big project for me.
Mm,
I can do it. Anyone can do it. Get over one's jealousy. That's
mhm,
essential. That's
mhm.
never like live in that place. It's
It's
not
never a good thing. Yeah, yeah.
never good for you.
It's yeah. I there's a person in my life who has always felt sort of jealous of me and
Mm.
and I'm like what like I like I
I'm a
struggle I
mess.
can have yeah like I mean sometimes I'm a mess and sometimes and when something good happens to me I just I don't want someone to be jealous of me. I want them to be happy for me, right? But I get it because I do have that too. Like I'm jealous,
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe you got us here to this point and exactly what you just said, because I wanted to talk about this on the Dream Stream. One great thing that I've learned from Gen Z is how do they say it? It's not I'm so happy for you. It's what is it? There's a way of, oh, I'll come up with it, but oh, that's great for you. Maybe it's that even. I don't think those are the actual words, but that's the sentiment. Like,
hmm
oh, it's just, I love that for you.
I love that for you. Right.
That's
Exactly.
what
It's
I'm
like
looking
that's
for.
happening for you. And that's right.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean
And
anything to me. It has nothing to
means
do with me.
it means the world. It's the opposite of jealousy. I
Yes.
can celebrate that for you. I love that for you.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? You don't think there's a million people who, in one way or another, makes me
Sure.
feel something, but no, because as I said, I'm working on it. But to just turn it around that easily, Ellen, I love that for you. I
Mhm.
love that you just did all these workshops, and it's so wonderful. Such
Hmm.
a wonderful perspective.
Hmm.
But now, in saying that, I have to quote Groucho Marx because I recently came up with this. I recently saw it. He says, "Well, what did the younger generations ever do for us?"
Yeah. What does that mean?
Right? Like, of course, nothing. It's just ridiculous.
But how does that
And,
relate to jealousy, or how does that relate to what
oh,
we're?
because I'm saying one thing that I've learned from Gen Z
Uh-huh.
that is like to me the opposite of feeling jealous of someone else's good fortune. It's
Oh.
just recognizing it as a
Hmm.
as a boon or whatever, and saying, "I love that for you.
Hmm.
I want to celebrate that with you."
Hmm.
And it's, to me, that is the absolute opposite of, "Oh, I'm jealous of you.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't, I don't have to be jealous of you ever. I can
Hmm.
celebrate you fully." And
Right.
so that's why I had to say the Groucho Marx. Whoa, what have the
Well,
younger generations ever done for us?
that's interesting. Oh, I see now. But I see the connection. I
Yeah.
didn't think you were talking about Gen Z, like the younger generation. Yeah.
Yes.
It's interesting. I didn't know that about that. I don't know why, it is that the younger generation is that way, or why they're the ones who are teaching you that, because I don't know that they're that way. But I think
Yes.
it might be that they're that way because they have a lot of hubris in a certain way. They just do whatever the fuck they
They
want.
don't care what you think of
Right?
them,
So
right? We were so,
here's the
we're
thing
so,
about like jealousy that I feel like is
yes,
like when you're jealous or envious of something, it's usually because there's something you're not doing that you'd like to be doing.
absolutely.
Not the thing that you can't do. If somebody like goes
Right.
and gets their pilot license, for example, I'd be like, who can, well, good for you. Like I
Yeah.
have no jealousy about that because I don't want to do that. But I think it's cool that you're doing that because you
Yeah.
want it. But
Right.
I think it's really only those things that we feel like we could do or we would like to do and we're not doing. So it's good to sort of use that as a fuel.
Yeah. It's funny that you're saying all this because Jeremy Taylor is our dearly deceased dream teacher was saying something quite like that in a circle at Miriam's Well in Socrates, where he was saying, because he had a dream and it led to a feeling of jealousy. And he said just that. If someone is like exceeding in another field that I have nothing to do with, I'm happy for them. But if it's, and I think he was talking about Robert Moss.
Uh-huh.
I thought that at the time as well. And he said, but that someone like that, he was saying, you could feel jealous of because you would like to be at that
Right. Right. You'd
level, or
like to
that's
be doing that or at the level of that other person.
comparable somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. So like if I look at the dream and look at jealousy, it's like, what was I jealous of? Yeah, that somehow like they were together in a party and there were and it was couples, although that was that my one friend from Brooklyn who wasn't coupled at the time, but
Oh, interesting.
yeah, she's a
It-
person I could have envy for. That's not anymore, but back in the day,
mhm.
um, for a variety of reasons. But um, yeah, like maybe something about the couples that they
Yeah,
were,
that's what I
and
felt.
also that they were all at a party. They were all together down there, enjoying a party.
Yeah, and
I
you were
was up
just,
here, like
oh,
I was orchestrating the thing, but I wasn't a part.
marionette
Yeah.
puppeteer.
And then in
Wow.
a way it feels like I made the explosion happen. Like I don't know how
Oh, yes, let's talk about that.
like I
That
don't
felt,
feel like
yeah,
I didn't feel so powerful that I could
yeah,
do that, but it's had
yeah.
this sense that I was the one who somehow made that happen so that
Okay.
back. I don't know.
What that brought up for me, if it were my dream, I was thinking that's very much like what's happening in war-torn Ukraine right now.
Mm.
They had a big dam that was just blown up and big explosion, and then all the water came and flooded the whole area, and or any other act of war. Oh, even more so, actually, as I'm thinking this, it reminds me of the exit from Afghanistan when there were so many people waiting at the airport to get on a plane to America. They
Yes.
thought their lives were in danger. Someone even slipped off an airplane when it was taking off. And then there was the war explosions in the background. So really, it really brings up that I don't know. I don't have any other thoughts on it, just that idea.
Mm.
Was
Yeah,
there a sense that it was a war sound?
could have been.
Hmm?
It was like a pop, like a really loud pop I didn't know what it sounded like. Like it could have been a gunshot or something,
It
and then the explosion just felt like an explosion. I don't know. It could have been anything.
sounded like cannon fire in my
And
head.
it felt like it felt as that's how it felt to you, Ken. Yeah, quite it did quite feel like that for me. It felt more like just an explosion, like it almost like
Yeah.
a plane had like a plane on the tarmac or something
Oh,
had that feeling. Like, okay, so that makes me feel like, okay, if I'm orchestrating that, if I'm all of the parts of this, right? Like that's a way to look at it. If I'm all the parts of this, and I'm all those people, I don't know, there's just something about wanting things to be back where they were, like where, that there's this expansion and then I'm wanting it to come back, everyone to come back. Um, because it's more comfortable. I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of control though to do that. I mean, that's a lot of
for
you
a
know,
mortal, for a mere mortal.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I have an projection, but please say more.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what more to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just was
Mm.
watching. Sometimes I'm fascinated. I didn't even Google search this, so this just came up because I guess in the past I've looked for. I'm interested in like natural disasters.
Mhm.
That it's fascinating to me how
Mm.
powerful nature can be. And I
Mm.
just was watching something uh where the water all receded, and now we all know what that means since the tsunami that killed, however many hundreds of people in Thailand that Christmas, however
Mhm.
many years ago that was. So so sad because the sea receded and there were all these fish exposed, and all the little kids ran to get the fish, you know, and then they were the wrong place when the tsunami came.
Yeah.
Very tragic in so many ways. But that's what I was thinking, only because in this video I just watched, um, a lot of the people started running back into the buildings, which of course is not a good idea, I don't
Mm.
think, under
Mm.
that circumstance.
Um, Interesting though. Yeah.
So was the dreamer wanting the people to come back in the building? Didn't you say something about that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if I did or not. I just watched them all going out, like as if they were going out to just go live their lives or
Oh,
go celebrate something, or they were going out like they were going out, And
yeah.
yeah, there's definitely yeah, I'm kind of blank a little bit, but like
Wow.
something
That's
about that, like in my own, as uh, if anybody's been listening for a while, like I've been definitely everything has to do with my business now. It feels like everything has to do.
okay. Oh,
I
okay.
am in my this new business that I'm working towards and creating, and it's been such a difficult thing for me. Not the work itself, but the prep and the marketing and all that is just painful to me. And I don't know, like last night I put out a couple of, I put an Instagram
Okay.
post
Well,
out,
then
and something about putting it out and it's
yes.
going to come back in. Like, oh God, that
Oh,
felt
love that.
terrible. It felt like, oh, I didn't do it perfectly. I'm going to get judged. People are going to
What
like
a
go,
good model
"Hmm,
for, that's how we do it in the Waldorf kindergarten. Out breath, outside play, running around, in breath, circle time and story time. Out
mhm,
breath, eating lunch, being a little rowdy. In breath, watercolor painting. We did the rhythm of breathing. And
hmm,
so if my projection, if this is my dream, I
hmm."
feel like, well, you're saying you want to connect it with your work.
Mhm.
And by the way, I did want to say the fact that you're getting these workshops together, Ellen, I love that for you. I
Thank you.
really do.
I'm really not getting anything together quite yet, but
Well,
uh,
no, but
hopefully
every step brings you closer.
baby
Yeah,
steps.
yeah.
Thank you.
One thing I felt, because this feeling, if I'm standing on this balcony and I'm kind of creating things and including, you know, all these people, and then this boom that I hear, it's all very overwhelming to me. And I joked about being immortal, being mortal. And it's all seems to me to be a lot. And one thing, when my dog Toby was dying, and lots of people were like, should euthanize. And I'm like, I only would if he's in pain. And obviously he can't tell me. And anyway, I was crying. He's out on my porch, couldn't even come in anymore. And I was crying and I put my hand on his body. And I just said to God, you make these decisions, not me. I'm a person who loves this dog like
Mhm.
so much. And I said, my prayer, like, I cannot make this decision. And then Toby was, died a little later that in the morning. But then interestingly, I was called upon to make that decision when I had to euthanize my cat, Bobcat.
Mm.
So, learning, our life is teaching us.
Yeah.
What a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess my point was, I'm gonna need a little help here, universe. Like, I don't want to, my projection, I don't want to be orchestrating all of this,
Right.
choreographing, whatever.
Yeah, that does actually resonate, right? Like
Mm,
that really resonates because I feel like
yeah,
in my mind, I think that's what creates a lot of anxiety for me is that it's everything is like in my mind, I have to do all of the little, I have to do everything. I have to do absolutely everything about this business and everything about my life, right? I live by myself.
exactly,
So
exactly.
well, it's a lot. It's a lot of
It's
orchestration.
so much.
It's so freaking much to have a life by yourself. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
a life
Yes.
anyway. It's also wonderful, but I'm not complaining. It's just it is an
Yes.
awful lot, to feed yourself 3 times a day and clean up
I
after
know.
yourself 3 times.
My my friend Kinter, I think he goes by Mikhail now. Robert is Formist. You know him? He lives in Shokan. He calls people PIPs, perpetual need packets. And we have to take care of our bodies, like
Yes, yes.
having and it has been used as a metaphor for like a beast of burden,
Mhm.
like having a body is a little bit like that.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
men, you have to shave,
right, right.
or many women do it as well. But there's some food, water, sleep,
Yeah, making enough money to, pay
staying
your
warm.
flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, um,
Shelter.
And then on top of that, there's this trying to create the business, and within the context of the business, there's a
Uh,
million different like moving parts that I have to do
yes,
with all of them. And it's like
yes,
it's overwhelming because even though the things themselves, if I actually just do them, it's a lot, but it's, it's what makes it a lot is that I procrastinate because I just think I
yes,
have, if I'm doing like a post, for example, I think, oh, but
yes.
what am I going to post? I want it to be,
Nothing to say.
I have a lot of integrity. I don't just want to randomly spew out bullshit like a lot of people do. And so then so then it just becomes this whole project.
Yeah, you don't
And
want to
then I
be like a
do it, and then I don't sleep.
generator.
That's what happens is I don't sleep because I don't actually do the things that I need to do. So
Oh,
they're
okay.
around my head. So, I have a feeling that this dream is like somehow the moving parts of all of this.
Yes, yes, the people. I can't control them. I can't bring them back in.
Yeah.
You know, I'm wondering though, like, I'm
Mm.
also having this big feeling of, I think I'm being told something about relocating. And so I do have to bring that up
Mm.
because I'm at an airport. And I have to say, I've had dreams in the airports, which
Mhm.
is so cool and so interesting. And in those dreams, I've thought of them as like a link to the spiritual world,
Hmm.
like I've had very interesting experiences in the airport in my dreams. And um but this dream makes me feel like I'm going to be traveling. So not sure,
Hmm.
just say that because I
I
know
am going
that's
to be traveling actually. Yeah.
okay. Talk about that.
I'm going to Ireland in mid-September.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Believe
I
I'm
love that for you. And
going.
am I jealous? Well, I'm not jealous so much as I'd love to do that too, but please tell
Yeah,
me about your
I totally
plans.
get that. And I've been wanting to go for years and years and years and years. I mean, even Tim, my ex-husband, and I, when we
Yeah,
first got married, we were like, oh, we'll go on a trip to Ireland, like one of these bike trips or something. And they were so
yes.
expensive. It was so out of our price range. And we just kind of dropped it and never did it. But I have a friend in the Hudson Valley, Melissa Harris, who does these art retreats, and she does them in her studio in Hurley, West Hurley. And then she's been in the last, I don't know, a whole bunch of years, she's been taking people to different places, like in Europe, to Italy, and different places. So
Love that.
she brings people, so it's art, and she calls them art and spirit retreats. And
Love it.
there's always some spiritual element. We do meditation, and then we paint. And so the ones that, so she's that's what I'm doing. So I'm doing one of her retreats in Ireland.
That's
And
awesome. I was just gonna say there's now a direct flight from Stewart Airport in Newburgh, New York, to Dublin.
oh wow.
And for a very reasonable, I think it was as low as like $250 during the pandemic. I don't know what it is now, but
Well,
it's direct.
I'm coming from the west,
Well, I know you are. I'm just
I'm not
saying,
coming from a hub, so I have to take like 3 different flights. Yeah, no, it's like very expensive. It's like
fly here first and then, oh, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do.
yeah, yeah,
I don't have to, choreograph your actions.
yeah. No, I mean it doesn't even make
No,
if I
I'm
lived
saying
in New
that,
York, it would be fantastic. But
I'm just saying that jokingly when I'm thinking about choreographing all these, moving
yes,
pieces
yes. Well,
of
and that was a
lagoons.
lot of choreographing too, by the way, to try to get everything. Oh my gosh, to gotta get everything organized. Yeah. So I
To
mean,
go,
maybe this has something to do with that, but it doesn't feel like it does. Like it just might
okay.
there's like flying in airports on my mind because of
Mhm.
um
Yeah.
it just feels like it has more to do with something else, like some other part of my psyche that has to do with
Yes.
um
Okay. So what
I'm
are some,
feeling like I need to control everything
yeah.
or um and also, oh, okay, here it is. So I'm controlling all these different pieces, and these pieces, the people, right, like almost
Mm,
like game pieces, right?
yeah. Oh, yes.
Like, okay, they'll be at a party, and then I'll see some people I know, and then I'll feel bad because I'm not participating, I'm not having fun. And then we'll have, so it's almost like I'm doing all these, like moving the puzzle pieces around or the game pieces. But the truth is that I'm not enjoying myself. And that is kind of what feels true in my waking life, is that I have
Okay.
all these different things going on that are great, traveling and this and that, but I'm not enjoying the moments of my life because I'm busy in the busyness in the head space. And I think that that's what this dream is telling me. I don't know why the explosion exactly. Like
Oh, to
maybe,
get my attention.
yeah, like to get my
Like
attention.
this.
All
Pay
those,
attention to this dream.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
like because that was the explosion made everybody run back in.
Yes.
So,
Oh, okay. Yes.
and maybe that was beyond my control. I don't know. I'm just
Yes.
playing with it. I don't really know.
Right. Right.
If I did,
Oh, okay. I can look at this differently now. As like, I think I have to take care of all this, and I feel bad about the pairs of people, and I can't even bring them back in. But then there's an explosion, and so it's almost like a supernatural ball of fire, and
right.
then everybody, and so this is teaching me my projection that I actually am not in control of
Mhm.
actually any of this, and
I've
that
actually
rest
any,
assured there is this fire,
yeah.
if I'm, likening that to the divine,
Mhm.
which I am in this moment.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
Everybody will come back in.
yeah, yeah. Right. That's kind of interesting. Also, it kind of levels the playing field a little bit
Okay.
in a way, somehow. Like because everyone is freaked out and scared, and this thing happened to everyone is like now everyone's in the same place, like feeling kind of, they're
Oh,
not going to leave me. They're not leaving me, right? We're all now in the same place. So I don't know what the meaning of that is exactly, but
oh,
or how.
now you want to come back in. You all leave me, and now you want to come back in.
Yeah, except it wasn't that at all. It was more like now you come back in. It was like that flavor. Like, okay, now the playing field is leveled. I don't know.
I love it.
I'm not sure.
Well, I would definitely want to think on this and look on this. And with all the busyness, the only thing I'm thinking to say is mindfulness.
Yeah, yeah,
Every moment I'm just mindful. What
yeah.
am I hearing? Like really sinking into my senses.
Hmm.
When my head is thinking, if I'm not feeling joy in my heart, I need to pause, sink into my senses. I heard a frog earlier. I heard, birds tweeting outside. There's even chickens here. I hear my kid and all his friends on the loud speakerphone. What do I smell? What am I tasting? This is good coffee.
Hmm.
And anything I'm feeling,
Yeah, right.
and then I can sink into myself.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah, yeah.
what do I need? What does my heart need right now?
But when you're anxious,
Yeah,
um, a person who has struggles with anxiety, like
yes,
it's really hard to get there. That is like one of the antidotes for sure. Is like the sensual somatic experience.
yeah, exactly.
I see, look around,
Yeah, sensual.
here, feel my feet on the ground. So that can be effective, but when you're
Yes,
spinning around, doesn't
yes,
it doesn't always work. But yeah, mindfulness, of course, is always the thing. The interesting thing too is that I'm not actually that busy. I mean, the things that I need to do are things I need to do. I have a schedule because I'm working with a coach. It's like, okay, Thursday mornings I'm supposed to post, whatever.
oh,
Once a month I do like a newsletter, but it's because because I am who I am. I'm always thinking about what I'm going to post, what I'm going to write, instead of
yes,
just trusting. I think
yes,
it's trust that when I sit in front of the computer, I'm going to know what to post. I'm going to know what
yes,
to write. It's just whatever I write is going to be okay.
yes,
I don't have to
yes,
be mulling it over. The other thing is I had a conversation with my really close friend in Oregon, and we were talking about reading and how enjoyable it is to just like in summer, to like lay around and read a novel, like it completely just let yourself have that relaxation. And I do really enjoy that, but I often don't let myself do it because I'm too
yes,
like ruminating about things.
yes, yes.
But actually, it's the opposite.
Gemini,
The opposite is true, which is that if I relax into a novel,
yes.
suddenly I have an idea, a creative idea, right? When you actually can relax,
Funny how that
yourself
works.
some freedom and free time, from yourself.
Funny how that
Yes,
works.
exactly. You get what you need. So anyway,
Yeah, and that's total mindfulness, but I really appreciate you talking about it from a perspective of someone who experiences anxiety. I don't I don't think it's the same as like depression. Seems
Mhm.
different to me,
It is
but I
different.
do see that in one of my closest loved ones. And so
Mhm.
I always am interested to hear
Yeah.
your perspective as someone with anxiety. It's not so easy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely pretty constant.
Yeah, so I hear that and I so much appreciate hearing that
Yeah.
so that I can be more empathetic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That dream, I feel like we only just, if a dream is an onion, we only just peel the first
It does
few
have that
layers.
feeling. Yeah, like there's more to it. I know. I definitely feel like I don't know that I really got to like the it of it. But I do
Yes,
feel like I got to, yeah, I got some insight for sure.
yes, the
Yeah.
it of it. Ooh, that's exciting. Maybe another dream will come to
Maybe,
fill in the it of it.
maybe, or maybe just later today, I'll just be like, ah,
Oh, and
sometimes.
if so, then you'll need to pick up the phone and call me.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again, Ellen. And
Um,
listeners, once again, we hope everybody received what they needed from this today. And I will say, Hola Mood, Me Too Keen.